Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope we are having a great day. I'm really sorry as we proceed on today's episode. We most likely will be hearing a noise at the background, but I don't know. Just because of I'm lazy to do editing, and that's bye, Kolade. Just because I'm lazy to do editing today, I just woke up this morning. I'm a little bit tired. So I decided I will come to the public on a live show and talk about this subject. If you're joining me live, welcome. And today's topic is about, is therapy a scam? Is therapy a scam? Now, I had a conversation yesterday. I've been thinking about this also, that I was going to bring it up at some point and talk about this subject. Is therapy a scam? Yes, I've made certain comments about it in the past, but I had a deeper conversation and I was able to get some glimpse of people who feel like therapy is a good thing. Some people believe it's not good. People like me, I think therapy is just something else. But we have to reason together and ask ourselves, what is therapy? And so I made a decision while I was laying down yesterday night while I was sleeping. It popped up to my mind, therapy, therapy, therapy. A lot of people actually need this. Therapy is kind of useful to a lot of people. And I ask myself, why is therapy so useful? Before, we don't used to have therapy. Maybe therapy is actually a different name from counseling. Maybe therapy is actually being brought as a profession rather than using the same statement of counseling. I think they actually changed the name from counseling to therapy so it looked more professional. And some might actually argue that, you're welcome, Roman. Roman Rikill me. Good morning, welcome. This is from Africa. Good morning. Today we are discussing about therapy. Is therapy a scam? Hello, welcome. Yeah. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I appreciate everyone for your support. Good morning. Good morning. What is the reason for live? Live? You mean live video, right? Oh, this is 5 a.m. This is what's our time here? The time is 9:13 a.m. So African time. Yeah. Shout out from Canada. My greetings to everyone. I am having a discussion this morning about therapy. Is therapy a scam? What is my name? You can see my name on that. I give my name as the Man of Thought. That's the name of my channel. But my real name is Kola, a Yoruba name from a Yoruba tribe in Nigeria. Someone said, yes, therapy is a scam. Tell about the topic. Yeah. I might not respond, but I would be reading every chat. Let's get the lesson. Now, I started by saying that therapy is something that I believe was called counseling in the past. There was a time they used to call counseling. They say, counseling, if you're having any issue, let's counsel this person. Come and let us have discussion on this particular issue. There are people who dedicate their time to counsel and to make sure that community moves fine. In fact, there could be issues in relationship and they just say, okay, let's go and counsel someone within the community that they respect a lot. And I think that the name therapy is just a professional name used for the same subject called counseling. But this time around, rather than you receiving counsel for free, now you have to pay a therapist. It's just a change of name. That's my perception. I could be wrong. Now, then you also added an aspect of it saying that therapist is something that maybe now they would have to, they prescribe a little bit of medical things within you going for therapy, and they may tell you, oh, I think you need to go to a doctor, you need to go to this, I think you need to take these drugs, maybe this drug is going to help you and the rest of it. But I believe that while I was having this discussion yesterday, someone convinced me that therapy isn't a scam. And for me, when I have a discussion with people, I take my time to relax and think about everything that I have discussed with that person, and then think deeper beyond just the conversation. Now, I think that therapy actually came in simply because of the dysfunction of families. There were times that when you have issues, if you're not talking to your parent about it, you might be talking to your nephew, you might be talking to your cousin about it. There's someone that is very close to you within the family that can always have answers to your problem. Now, they may not have the accurate answer, but there's someone, maybe an elder in the family, that you can always reach out to talk about this. So this morning when I woke up, I made a decision to make a little bit of research and talk to one of the most wisest thing that human has invented called ChatGPT. And I asked ChatGPT, what is the advantage of therapies and what is the disadvantage of therapy? And ChatGPT gave me their answer. And that answer I will be sharing with you. And so we can now make a decision to see really if therapy is actually a scam or not. For sure, therapy, ChatGPT will want to promote anything. ChatGPT is trying not to demoralize anything or cause any confusion. That is his program to make things work. So therapy started by saying that, ChatGPT started by saying that therapy, number one, the advantage is that professional guidance. And when it said professional guidance, it said train for professional advice and guide for dealing with mental health. But I wanted to ask, was there a time in human history that we don't have challenges with our thought process? What is mental health? I thought mental health issues are when you're having serious mental challenge due to certain experiences in your life. I don't think just you having issues with me, I'm just having issues with you, just a normal misunderstanding. Then I say, okay, maybe there's an event that happened between us. Then I need therapy because I cannot go away from these issues that we've had. And then I need therapy for it. No, mankind has always experienced challenges. Spike back. The topic is about, is therapy a scam? That's what the topic is about. So men has always have challenges, and we have always have issues with our thoughts. In fact, the only way we could navigate life is because we have challenges with our life, with the system. The society is going to give you challenges in your brain. Your relationship with certain individuals is definitely going to give you mental challenge. And the reality is that mental challenge is just like you have to wrestle within yourself before you give out any response to things. And sometimes it can be challenging. So are we becoming more weaker as people, that whenever we have any challenge, we have to run to a therapy to fix us? And we think that we just thinking or wrestling with our thoughts simply means we are having mental issues. Now, do not misquote me. I know certain people experience a lot of things that are deeper than just this. Some people experience things that are more than maybe just having conversation and experiencing someone die and the rest of it. But in today's world, I think that we have become so weaker that just for you losing your parents, losing your loved ones, a lot of people think they have to go for therapy. Losing people has always been there since the beginning of time. I do not need therapy if I lost someone dear to me. I have to understand, is it because what I begin to ask myself, is it because we can't handle our thoughts anymore? And we feel like whenever we don't feel comfortable with the way we think or with the way we approach life, then we need a quick fix. Maybe we're forgetting that one of the things that are important in life is part of the struggles of life. So people rush to therapy, and according to ChatGPT says professional guidance. That means when you go there, someone is there to talk about your mental health. So that is one advantage. Number two, it says objective perspective. And it says, unlike friends and family, therapies are unbiased. Unlike friends and family, therapists are unbiased. Now I have a question for that. That means that are friends biased? Are humans biased? Are your family biased when you go to them and you express your issues with them? Are those people biased by the way they communicate with you? And therapy are the people who are unbiased in the way they view things and they give you objective perspective. Now, I want to ask you a question. Are we emotional creatures or are we logical creatures? I'm throwing it out to the house. Are we emotional creatures or are we logical creatures? Some people would say we are both. Some people would say women are more emotional. But do you think that we are more logical or we are more emotional? We are more emotional. Yeah. From Amy Rowe says we are more emotional. Is anyone also giving a response to it? Are we more emotional or are we logical creatures? Please, if you're joining, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for those who have subscribed. At least I've crossed that 1,000, what do they call it? 1,000 subscribers. And right now we are pushing to 2,000. So let me go with what Hemiron says. We are more emotional. Yeah. I want to see if there's any other person who thinks otherwise. I believe that we can be logical, but we still fall back on our emotions. True, in a sense. I don't want to use the word true, but let me just expatiate on it because everyone is going to have their own viewpoint. Now, logical means that you are thinking ahead of things. Logical means you are planning how things should go in a proper way. But whatever you make a decision to be logical about, first of all, you have to be concerned about it. Just like you see two dogs fighting, your logical mind is to separate the two dogs. But if you don't care about the two dogs fighting, which caring about it simply means you feel they shouldn't be fighting, and that is emotion. And because you feel it first, your logic can work to stop or to separate them from fighting. And your logic will tell you this is the best way for me to stop these things from fighting. But you have to be concerned first. So that means, first of all, we are emotional creatures before we are logical, because logical cannot function without emotional. If you're not concerned about things, if you don't feel for something, you wouldn't bother your intellect working to resolve that thing. Do you agree with that analysis? Do we agree with that analysis? I live in an environment where a lot of people in my estate where we've got some properties, a lot of people love using the word diplomacy. Let's be diplomatic. Let's be diplomatic. I'm like, okay, thank you. A lot of people say, let's be diplomatic. I'm like, I love diplomacy, but diplomacy actually works when everything is at peace. I don't want to bring up the issue of the things that are happening in Israel. Let's not talk about Israel and the whole Palestinian things that are actually going on. This set of people, when you look at the people in the parliament, they will just sit down and they say, let's be diplomatic on the way we see things. But at the end of the day, they say, these people did this to us. Now we want our people to go back and hurt these people. At the end of the day, we are still being emotional. Diplomatic or diplomacy is just a format to make us act like we are not who we are, like we are not emotional. It's just a self-denial way of showing our actions or to subdue our emotional side and let us be more logical in the way we do things. But at the end of the day, we are emotional about every choice we make in life. As simple as ABC. So when it says that objective perspective, and it says that ChatGPT said, because unlike friends and family, therapists are unbiased. I'm like, who would you rather prefer to share your problem with? Would you rather prefer to share your problem with someone who is unbiased, who is not related and connected to you? Or would you accept more solution from someone who is more connected to you? Who would you prefer to solve your issues in life? Or who would you prefer to share the problems of your life with? I believe I would want someone who is connected to me, someone who understands me. Because and I have something that I'm actually going to talk about probably at the end of it that actually makes sense to me. The third thing that ChatGPT touched on, it says confidentiality is private. That means whatever conversation you have with your therapy is always private. That I can say maybe not. Because at the end of the day, we have seen a lot of people who would not talk about certain things when you are alive. When you are gone, they will mention your name and they would say, this particular person came up to me and told me this. For example, there are a lot of people in the life of Michael Jackson when he was alive that would never come out and say, Michael Jackson did this, Michael Jackson did that, Michael Jackson said this. The moment the same people who probably signed NDA or whatever they call it, the moment they realize that Michael Jackson is having certain issues in life or this person is late, those people will come on live and tell you everything about Michael Jackson. In fact, there was an interview that I experienced that one of the bodyguard of Michael Jackson came up and started narrating all the stories about how he met Michael Jackson, who he was and all of that. And I'm like, I believe this individual signed certain things that he was never going to bring out things in the private life of Michael Jackson to the public. So are humans really keeping secrets? Do we have the ability to keep secret? Someone said, but my therapy changed my life completely. Oh, that's good. That's good to hear. When you say your therapy changed your life completely, you would need to have a context to it. There will be a context to it. Who is the therapy to you? How close are you and the therapist? What is the challenge you're actually facing? Because let me say this before I move to the next one. One of the things that I understand about therapy is that therapy indicates where the problem is in your life. It indicates why you're actually going through what you're going through. And therapy only makes you self-aware. The challenges you are actually going through It's simply because of this and this and this and this that you experience, which I believe a common sense can also do that most of the time, or a conscious mind might do that most of the time. But sometimes we can be overwhelmed with the situation that we cannot think deeper why we are actually doing or acting the way we are acting. Mr. Arian Iran Paul, do you agree that about what I just said right now? If you had someone in your life who is probably very close to you, who probably have a lot of understanding about you, would you have preferred, okay, Emmy Rohn says, yeah, I agree. Would you have preferred you talking to a therapist? And I have a reason why I said therapy, why I'm talking about therapy right now. And we are still talking about the advantage. It's not necessary your therapy is close to you. What you need is your therapy understand your situation and emotions. Yeah. Some people say it's helpful, and I agree with them. You can challenge people's experience, and I agree with you completely. But I think that everyone who goes to therapy has a little bit of challenge with the people in their environment who are close to them. That means maybe you can express yourself to your friends because they are not genuine friends. You know, you guys are just there because of the situation, because of what you benefit from each other. If you have real friends, if you have those who understand you and those who want your best interest in mind, and you know those friends are close to you like a brother, and you also have family members who are there in your life, because initially when I started this conversation, I pointed out that the reason why we are needing therapy today is because of the dysfunctionality of family and society at large. Now, do you think that if these things are available to you, you would seek therapy, or you would have shared it with those people who can embody your emotions, those who are there, who knows everything about you? Someone said, man, real friends are best therapy. I agree with that. Okay, Arian agree. Spiky Back says therapy only works when there is complete emotional transparency. Emotional transparency. Emotional transparency. Let's look at that word, emotional transparency. How does that work? I feel something and I want to explain it to someone so that person can see it. That means I'm not hiding anything from that person. Now, how can I be completely open to you when I don't even know you? Though you said we had a contract that you're not going to expose anything I've said to the world, how can I fully be transparent? Or would I just take the information and just tell you few things and then use whatever feedback you give to me to kind of self-correct because I can tell you everything about me? Now, there's a reason why I said that. In Nigeria, for example, about March this year, there was this particular real estate organization that I got property from, and they locked me in jail by laying false allegation that I threatened them and all of that because I was trying to free certain people. Welcome, Riley, because I was trying to free the people in the community. And when I was in jail during that time before I got my bail, I realized certain people, I want you to listen to this word carefully. Certain individuals that I met in jail told me that they actually killed somebody. They actually murdered somebody, but they could not be open to their lawyer about it. And their lawyer is defending them. Now you ask, when a lawyer is meant to be confidential, we have experienced certain lawyers in Nigeria, wherever in the world that would just wake up one day and say that I can't defend my client anymore because he told me certain things that I can't say to the world right now. I think my client is an evil person. Have we ever experienced videos like that? Where a lawyer, there are certain people who grape children, who grape young people, who are predators to children. And when they open up to their lawyer is actually defending them. At some point, the lawyer have certain informations, and that information, the lawyer is like, you are really an animal. You are not deserving to be in the society. I'm not supposed to defend you. But remember, you are supposed to be transparent with your lawyer. And now the lawyer is like, I have moral grounds, and I don't think if you have done this kind of evil thing, I should be defending you. Can we see the balance with the way I am viewing the therapy? So that means there are certain things that you spill out to therapy because a therapist, you don't even know how far they can go. You don't know what challenge they are going through. You don't know what religious perspective they actually have in life. And maybe there are certain things we say as human beings, because at the end of the day, there are deep, dark things about every human. And you know, if you're just going that you had an experience, maybe you go to war, Afghanistan, and you experience them shooting a lot of people and it's messing up with your head. Those conversations are easy to go to a therapist if you don't have close friends that can understand and you can explain yourself and you guys can go through life together. If you go to a therapist, that is very easy to talk about. But if you're being abused in certain ways, oh my God. There are a lot of people, let me just put it this way. There are a lot of people I've invited online to come and talk about their experience. They feel confident to talk to me privately on it, but they don't want to show me their face. Because they believe if I know them or I see them, that means I would start viewing them with the story they've told me. So humans, at the end of the day, there are certain people that we can have this emotional balance with, and we would understand these people. So what I am actually saying is that therapy might be good. I'm not saying therapy is not good. I'm saying it looks like we are still doing the same thing called counseling. And if you have someone close to your life who you can counsel you, maybe therapy is just for business. And that takes me to the next one that ChatGPT talked about. ChatGPT also spoke about personalized treatment. They tailor your approach to solve the problem. Okay. Emotional support. They provide a safe space. Please, this is another quote from ChatGPT. Advantage of therapy. It says that they provide emotional support. Can therapy actually provide you emotional support? Please, if you're there, answer this question. Can therapy provide you emotional support? Please let's know the difference between emotional support and having a professional discussion with someone. So I would like to hear your feedback on that. Can therapy provide you emotional support? Sexually, let me just be giving you, and I'm expecting your response. Maybe you are trying to, maybe you're having issues with sex or something like that. Can your therapy support you emotionally? Maybe you're having issues with love. Can your therapy help you in the journey of emotionally to give you that love that you actually want? Please, if you're there, I would like your feedback. Can therapy give us emotional support? I Say No by Amy Rohn. In business, can there be emotions? In fact, a good business is a business that has no emotions in it. A business is just transaction. And a therapy is someone you pay to help you navigate. And that person is strictly there for business while you are there to explain things emotionally. So how can someone who is there to make transaction with you, how can that person support you emotionally if that person is not perhaps trying to maybe even use your emotion as a way to have more section after section, and you would not be done. You are going to go to therapy. Even if I have the answer, I know what you can do, I can only give you a bit of those. Okay, I know the whole solution, but let me give you a little, let me give you a little, let me give you a little, so that you can always come back, because you are more emotionally into the situation. I am seeing it as a business. Someone say therapy only gives a third person's perspective. Emotional support can be given by a therapist, in my opinion. Yes, sir. I agree with you. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that don't go to therapy. I'm saying that what's the difference between counseling and therapy? And I'm saying that if we have family structure and the society is moving in the way it needs to move, and there's a religious support, religious body, and there's a family support, and you have the right friends with you in your life, would you need therapy? And that's the reason why we're going towards this direction. I believe and I think that if you lack this set of people in your life, this emotional support from the family, and you're not close to your family, and your family has been destroyed, and you're having issues with your friendship, I think you most likely need therapy, because that's just the option you have. But I believe also that if you have your family with you, these are the people that can give you your needs. And the needs of every man, apart from the physical thing, they always need the emotional thing. There's nothing as emotional support. So the third one, they talk about skill development. I really don't want to go about that, because they say communication skills mechanism. What's communication skill mechanism? Can someone explain it? Communication skills. That means for me, I would say it this way. That means the therapy already knows that they are going to speak to you in certain kind of ways. And most times, let me say this. I tell people that when I am friends with you, I just want you to be open. I don't like playing game of the head. I like playing from the heart. When I'm your friend, when I love you, I love our conversations to always come from the heart, not from the brain. Yes, sometimes we have to be logical about a lot of things, but most of the time, we have to also connect from our heart. Everything a therapy is doing is from the brain. And that means they are watching every single move of you. And do you even know something? This is one thing that I think baffles me about therapy. You go there for your problem, and you're assuming that the person who you're sharing your problem with, that person does not have their own challenges. And you think you're talking to a God who is going to answer your prayer, but does not have his own challenges. And the moment I am giving you things that happens to me emotionally, and I can connect with you, but you can see through me, it's like I'm exposing myself to God. God is the only person that I believe we can expose ourselves to, and he's not going to say, oh, I just want to answer your prayer, if we do believe in the religious idea of what God is. But realistically, I think that if I'm connecting to you emotionally, I would like you to share your own issues with me, because you can use your experience to help me shape mine. And at least I would know a way to help you. And this is what I think. Give and take. But you cannot give someone money and expect that person to help you emotionally. That transaction does not work. To me, it sounds like prostitution. therapy to me sounds like prostitution. I know I'm going extreme with what I say. It might sound extreme. I said it looks and it seems to me like prostitution, in a sense that I am giving you things emotionally, or I am giving you money and you have to pretend that you are emotionally connected to me. Now, you might help me release the anxiety or the sexual drive and the rest of it, but we cannot be connected in certain ways. Does that make sense? If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe to my channel so we can always have conversations as deep as this. And if you think you have a different view on it, you can always write to me. My email is on the channel there. My WhatsApp number is on the channel there. You can always chat me up if you have any question. If you like to come on live, if you want to have your own perspective, let us, have a discussion. I'm not here to battle anyone. I'm just speaking on my own perspective, and I would love to have discussions with anyone, anytime. So let me just round up with the aspect of the disadvantage, and I'll make the disadvantage very short because now I would be preparing for something. Now, the disadvantage of therapy by ChatGPT says that number one is costs. Cost simply means money. Money. When you have emotional issues and you're trying to fix it with money, what are you doing? This is not your television getting destroyed. This is not your light bulb burning. This is something that is affecting you mentally. That's what therapy is for. But now you're throwing money at it. I think that money is used when you're having an emotional issue and you're trying to use money to resolve it. You most times are falling to become an addict to that issue. Maybe not to everyone. Every time you use money, to try to resolve an emotional issue, because you are paying to the therapy, it looks like you would become addicted to the therapy. You would love going to therapy. And in fact, ChatGPT spoke about it. Now, apart from the costs, now that means if you don't have money, therapy cannot work for you because you can't have the resources to go get therapy. So if the solution for mental health is just for those who have money, then is it actually to solve your problem, or is it just a business field? Then if it is a business field, how do you think that it's actually helping you? Maybe therapy suppresses the mental issues because you're throwing money at it. It suppresses it and makes you feel like you are out of it. And sometimes it's like someone having cancer and them not knowing that they still have cancer because the cancer is not actually reflecting anymore, but it's growing slowly. So that's number one. Number two, time and commitment. Time and commitment simply means that you have to be available. And most times, if you have a lot of things you're doing, you might not be having that luxury of time to go spend in therapeutic sections. And if you're doing that, that means it's because it costs you something. Now it costs you money. Now it's costing you time. It's taken out of your time. So you have to be dedicated to it. And this is one thing that I have seen about people who go for therapy. And sorry if you have gone to therapy. I'm not trying to shoot a shot at you or whatever. But what I have observed about people who have gone for therapy, most of them always end up going to therapy. It's never enough within 6 months. It always takes a long time. Because you have to sacrifice for it. It becomes like a religious thing. Namaste. You have to dedicate yourself to it. Now it looks like churches where you pay your offering and you go there every Sunday to dance. And yet the pastor will tell you to come next time. This is how therapy seems like. And I'm saying that therapy is good for certain people, but it's not good for certain individual. And the only way is that if we begin to fix the basic things in our life to build up family, to make sure that we did not destroy the structure of family, we may not necessarily need therapy in any area we find ourselves in life. We may need to connect and we might be able to resolve the issue. That's where I'm actually going. Then the third one is emotional discomfort. That means discussing personal issues can be emotionally draining. Remember, this is the third one, the disadvantage, according to ChatGPT, that the disadvantage of therapy is that emotional discomfort. Discussing personal issues can be emotionally draining. If we can look at that word carefully, what it means is, what is personal issues? Personal issues are issues that the third party, I'm not supposed to be having a discussion with a third party, not my next person. Because whatever is personal is the issue between me, and the only person that can understand me are the people who are close to me. So when I'm going to a therapist, I'm going to someone who doesn't know anything about me. Just because this person tends to be professional, now I have to take my personal issues that I don't want to share to the world. Now I have to share it to an individual, and that individual will go ahead telling somebody else like, oh, I had a client today. That client, I'm not going to call their name because it's my profession, but the client told me these. Oh, I hated the way she was speaking. I don't like this lady. I hate this guy. Blah, 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 blah. Do you think therapists can't speak, or do you think therapists would not open up your secrets? Emiron says money, 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 and lots of money. All right. Do you think therapists are maybe structured angels that will not go ahead talking about your experience with someone else, even if they don't expose it to you? Or let you understand that, oh, they are talking to someone about it. So it actually shows that emotional discomfort, you're going to be uncomfortable opening up real personal issues with therapy. And that was why when I was talking the first time, I was like saying, yes, you might be able to open up some things with therapists, but you might not be able to open your full mind to a therapist. There are certain things a lot of people go to therapists and they say, I'm telling you my issues, but there's something they are still hiding and they will not come up fully with their therapist. They do because it's human nature to talk. Yeah. I can't agree more. It's our nature to talk. We love talking as humans. It's part of what makes us humans. It's part of what makes us evolve, because we communicate ideas, whatever we think we communicate, and these people would use it. And I want you to understand that the person you're talking to is actually there to collect money and to give you a solution. But if I will give you a solution and it will stop you from coming to me to give me money that I need, why should I give you a complete solution? Rather, I should give you like a drug. Take this, you would need more. Take this, you would need more. Take this, you would need more. So I'm taking advantage and I'm using your emotion against you in certain sense, because I think that certain people, certain what do they call it, therapists, might know the answer to your problem, but they are not going to tell you the solution to your problem. You want me to preach? Hallelujah. Then the fourth one is about stigma. That means when people know that you're going for therapy, there's a stigma on you. I didn't write this. ChatGPT told me that one of the disadvantages is that you're going to have a stigma. Do you imagine every single time we have conversation and we want to have deeper conversation, or we want to have, maybe you are my girlfriend and I want to have sexual intercourse, and then I have to tell you, hold on, I go and take a pill. Let me go take a pill so that I can perform very well. How long do you think that relationship will work? No matter how good I am, you're like, you are not a real man. You are just taking a drug, and that's what you're using to have sex. Now, it looks like she's having sex with the drug because there's an addict that is taking the drugs to have sex with her. Same thing, that's the stigma, that is using the drug to get sexually connected to me. Now, when people understand that you are going for therapy every single time, it builds a stigma, and people say, this my friend or this person close to me or this person that I see around me going to therapy, this person has certain issues. Even if you're not disclosing it to them, why are you going to therapy every single time? They might not say it, but it's there. Someone wrote, Spiky back says, they might talk about their clients to others, but still, there's still some comfort in them not being involved in our personal lives. There are certain things I might not want people in my life to know. Truly. That kind of makes sense. There are things that you might not want your people to know. The only question is, why wouldn't you want your people to know? If you have a good relationship with these people, and you truly love these people, and they are part of your life. You know, I said that the dysfunctionality of family, let's put it in this perspective. I have my mom. My mom loves me. I and my mom, we have good conversation. She was there for me, and my dad and the rest of it. I think I should be able to express myself to my family if we have understanding, and that's the basis of family, apart from bringing you up. Now, if I get to certain situations in my life that I cannot open up to my family, or to tell my mom I'm going through this challenge in life, to tell my dad I'm going through this challenge in life, to tell my wife that I'm going through these challenges in life, then that means something is wrong somewhere. That means I don't trust my people. That means there's a dysfunction in the family. So if I feel comfortable to tell it to someone who I don't know, but I can pay for that person to give me a professional insight, and I know that while that person is talking to me, that person is expecting money from me. Are we on the same scale? If you have a friend, I think there's a reason for you being a friend with someone. Friendship simply means you can share certain things with that individual than the things you probably want to share with your family. Now, friends simply means that what I understand about friends that actually do last long, friends that last long are those who have gone through life together. You don't just see me and we just make a deal when we say, oh, you're my friend, I like you, I like you. No. If we had gone through certain challenges in life together, then we are worthy to call each other friends. And because we have gone through challenges together, we share our burdens. And because we share our burdens, we know what we can tell each other and the things we are not supposed to say and things like that. We create certain bond. But I don't know. I'm trying to connect. I'm really trying to understand that I am going to give you money. You're going to tell me my problem. I'm going to tell you my problem, and you're going to tell me how to fix the problem and the solution to that problem. And you know, if I get the solution to the problem, I'm not going to pay you more. Will I be completely honest with you? Let's just look at it from that logical perspective. Should I, as a businessman, if there's something I can keep saying to the people and say, oh, do send this money. If you send this money, I will give you a code that will fix the problem of your life. And I know I would need money. Should I? Then I asked the question earlier. I was saying that, are there people, please, Mr. Spiky back, if you can answer, or someone else who talked about therapy and all of that. Is there anyone who you know that have been to therapy for 4 months? and that person don't end up going back for at least 6 months or 1 year. And a lot of people that I've heard that went for therapy, most times they quit going to therapy, not because they find a solution, but because it gets too ethical. It becomes too stressful. It's like, maybe I need to stop. Because therapy would never tell you, a therapist would never tell you stop coming. The mind of the therapy is bring the money. So if we can fix the basic issues of our life by fixing our family or creating a family structure that can function in today's society, would we need therapy? And trust me, please do not misquote me. I'm still going to emphasize on this. I'm not saying therapy is bad. I mean, if you don't have strong families enough, that you can trust enough, simply because there's a dysfunctionality in the family, you might not need a therapy. What's the difference also between counseling and therapy? So that moves me to the next one. You can write Spiky back. If there's anyone you know that have gone for therapy for 4 months and did not go again, and they said it's because the therapy finds solution to my life, that's the reason why I have the full solution. Yeah, truly, therapy seems to not stop. At the end of the day, it's still a business. Namaste, Spiky back. Namaste, Spiky back. I appreciate you for that, for you being honest and being transparent. Also, while we are having this discussion, you see, we need to understand this, that the society, everything falls under money, 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 money. And when we become this monetary conscious about every single thing, we are not going to be able to function properly as humans. There's nothing wrong, even if I'm not collecting money from you, and you call me, and you have my number through my page, and you chat me up, and you say you want to have discussions with me, and I talk to you for 1 hour, 2 hours, we can have deeper conversation. Even if you don't know me, I can talk to you and we can look at the issues that you are going through. You don't necessarily have to pay me, because the moment you're paying me just for you to express yourself to me, or for us to have a deeper conversation, then that means it's a business transaction. Someone said money is important. Therapy was once a counselor. We call them counselors. Counselors counsel for free, and people can appreciate them. There's nothing wrong if you talk to me and maybe we found a solution to your problem, and then you appreciate me. But not that I'm telling you every single time you come, you must pay me $500 or $200. If you give me $200 today, I need it tomorrow, I need it tomorrow. Because the problem with money is you ain't going to be satisfied with money. And there are few things that God or nature or the universe has given to us that we don't have to start monetizing. Imagine we have to monetize the air we breathe. Imagine we have to monetize love. It is because we begin to monetize love, now we have society issues that people don't love themselves anymore. People don't love other people anymore. All they want is transaction. Now, to find a lady, you have to be very skeptical. Is she here because of money, or is she here because she loves me? What's the stigma? Hopes on Skibidi point up. What's the stigma? Someone said, what's the stigma? I said the stigma is that society stigma. It's about society stigma. You're going to therapy every time, and it's just like, I give an analogy, like if I had a girlfriend and every time we want to have sex, I have to go to the toilet to take some drugs or to take some pills. Now she's going to think that she's not having sex with me, but she's having sex with the drug, and the addictor of the drug is the one having sex with her. And so there's no that emotional connection. And the same thing, the stigma is that if I know you are my friend, and every single time you're not telling me your problem, and I know you go for therapy, there's a society stigma thinking that you have a mental health issues. Now, there's nothing wrong about it, but who wants to be stigmatized? It can be both love and money. It's either love or money. That's the same. And Ron says that's the same with prescription medication and natural herbs. Boom. Prescription only patch the issue, and you have to constantly repurchase the prescription. The herbs heal the body, no need to rebuy. Hallelujah. I have wise people joining me on my channel. I have a lot of informed people joining me on my channel. I appreciate you all. Lil Chihuahua cries for therapies. Please, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to my channel. Like. We have over 31 people watching me, and only 2 people have liked my channel, who have liked what we are talking about, this topic. That's unfair. But it's good. Maybe you're enjoying it so much and you think I don't deserve to receive like. Whatever. It is what it is. The next one it touched on, it says finding the right fit. Finding the right fit. That's one of the disadvantages of therapy. Finding the right fit. That means you most likely wouldn't find someone who fits your profile. Your kind of problem might be so big that the professional has not been brought to your country. Oh, Abdul Jabbar, we're talking about, is therapy a scam? Don't worry, I will be making it, I would upload it so the public can see it the moment we are done. We have gone so far. Going back would take us to a different thing. Hold the screen down and hit thumbs up. Yeah. Please like. I would appreciate that. So finding the right fit. That means you most likely will be talking to a lot of people about therapy, and at the end of the day about your issues, and at the end of the day that person is not professional enough to solve your problem. Now you have to find another profession. And this is the reason why a lot of people change therapists. They change therapists because one is not professional. Maybe my problem is bigger than yours. Nah, no need to go back. Thanks for responding, though. Thank you, Abdul Jabbar. Now, the next one, it touched on disadvantage of therapy. It talks about dependency, risk of dependency on therapists. Let's do that mathematical calculation. Disadvantage of therapies. It says dependency. Disadvantage of therapy, if it is dependency, say risk of dependency on therapists. Now, when you do the further math, you calculate it all together, is equal what? Addiction. Is it not equal? Is it not equal addiction? If ChatGPT, who wants to promote AI and make sure technology helps the world, can tell us that the disadvantage of it is that it creates dependency on the therapist. That simply means addiction to go report, because the individual will keep stimulating. If I can keep speaking on things that will make you stay while I know I make money, I would want you continue because I know you are emotionally invested in it. Now, the last one is limited access. It says shortage of qualified therapists. So that means that a lot of people are going to meet up with therapy that are not even qualified. And you ask yourself, why am I talking to this person and I don't have the solution yet? You're going to keep talking every single day because the person is not even qualified for your problem. And the reality is this: who is qualified for how do I put that word? Who is qualified to support you emotionally? Because most issues that has to be mental issues has to do with someone having emotional issues. I might not be probably right on that, but most likely it's an emotional issue. You need emotional support. Imagine someone being in hospital and you have a lot of friends, you have a lot of family who heard that you had an accident and now you are in hospital and it's about life and death. And then every time you open your eyes, you hear the doctor says they've called your family, they've called everybody around you. All your family knew you are there, but none of your family shows up. You feel helpless. You feel they've turned their back on you because every individual wants emotional support. So you can only get emotional support by those who you have lived by or those who you have lived with. And if you're not having that emotional support and you're paying somebody to be there for you, maybe you now have accident and you have to pay a therapist to come check you and all of that. How does it sound? Now, I know it's not about physical thing, it's about mental thing, but the mental is also emotional. So I'm going to finalize with this. Anything that costs money for emotion is a business transaction. Anything that costs money for emotions is a business transaction. Transaction is logical. Emotion may not sound logical, but it is who we are as humans are concerned. Some people are scared AI is going to replace us. AI can't do shit because AI is not emotionally connected to us. We might think we're emotionally connected to AI because it's happening in our time. But one thing AI can never have is family support. One thing AI can never do is to support us emotionally, just like our family. So with that being said, I'll be moving back. I'll be tomorrow, tends to be Saturday by 5 p.m. I'll be having a discussion on dating. It has to do with African. It has to do with everyone. We're going to talk about the word dating. I'm going to be having a guest. Hopefully, he's going to be joining me on live tomorrow by 5 p.m. African time. So for me, my viewpoint is maybe therapy is a scam, but I know that certain people need it. Certain people actually need it. If you know you need therapy and you don't have the emotional support from families and the rest, go for it. Go for therapy. If you don't have good friends you can trust, go for therapy. But I can tell you, if we are being logical, now I'm not talking about emotion. If we are being logical to raise the right family and do not allow the government or the society to pollute our family, we most likely would not need therapy. With that being said, I appreciate everyone who has joined me today. Please subscribe so next time when I come live, you can always join me. I appreciate every single one of you who has joined me today, and it's a great conversation, and I appreciate your response also. Have a blessed day. See you in my next video or my live video. Bye-bye for now. Hemi, I appreciate you. I would love to hear from you also when I'm live next time. Bye-bye for now. Peace.